back, boys and girls, to another episode of K-Fave Comparisons. My name is Mr. Knowitall, Daniel John Schafer, and I am joined here once again by your boy. He is the king of the K-Fave kickflip, Mr. Wex, breaking the Lawson. Wex, how we living today, bud?
Dude, living pretty good. It's been a minute, it's been a couple weeks since, the shit was popping off, and I'm glad to be back, glad to be on the podcast. And wrestling, man, it's been a wild few weeks. It's been a wild week.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get into this shit because, man, we got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into it as well. To full disclosure, my eyes have not witnessed a lot of actual live wrestling in the past couple weeks just because of life and family and holidays and everything else going on. But I am keeping up with the headlines. I'm watching the Twitter clips, so I know what's going on. I know the titles have changed. I know storylines and what's happening there. But I think the real life headlines are probably the main point of concern here. And that's why this week we're literally just talking about what's going on in wrestling, like the whole show. Like there's no list episode because we feel like we've got enough material to fill at least 30 to 45 minutes of just pure news and nonsense and craziness. So let's save the juiciest bits for towards the end. But how do you want to kick this thing off, Mr. Wex?
We're going to save the juiciest bits. Let's go ahead and just talk about what happened last night as we're recording this Thursday's AEW Dynamite, which I'm pretty sure you said you didn't watch any of it, but did you read any of the headlines? Do you know what happened with the show?
Yeah, I saw a couple Twitter clips as well. I saw the Jericho upset and all that. It was pretty cool.
Dude, so all I'll say is the past 2 weeks of Dynamite, they're like getting back on track to kind of what they were doing before.
Good.
Because that whole brawl out fucking CM Punk stuff, like it really hampered the product for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
But now that all that's kind of like blown over and we know what's going on, like it was great. Dude, so the first match of the show, it was the best of 7 series, the Death Triangle versus the Elite again.
Yeah.
And they're basically trying to they're playing the whole basketball NBA sports thing. Tony Khan bought the NBA on NBC theme song.
Oh, nice.
So the like it's playing every time they're like talking about the shit. But the match itself, great match, of course. Like they're always going to put in a banger, but the great thing, like the subtle things that happened there, Nick Jackson actually tweaked his ankle early on in the match. Didn't seem that bad. They took him to the back. It was clearly kayfabe storyline going on there. And then he makes his epic babyface return. And if you've been watching these matches, the hammer has been a big factor in all these matches with both of them. And he starts to take control. He's not even, Nick Jackson's known for being a flippity-floppity guy. It's kind of like Phoenix. He's doing the crazy shit. It was just a very ground-based offense, and he goes for the super kick. And Penta comes and busts him with the hammer in the ankle that he hurt, and then Phoenix locked him with the heel hook, and Death Triangle goes up 3-1. Ooh. And as you know, in sports, coming back from a 3-1 deficit is always, very hard.
It's very hard indeed. It's very hard.
And it was amazing. When he hit him with the hammer, I by myself on the couch I was like, oh shit, that was fucking great because I love all 6 of these dudes. They're all great wrestlers. Well, I love the little wrinkles in the storyline there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I do really enjoy what they're doing with Triangle and the Elite. I think it's definitely some of the best matches they put on in the past couple of years too. Just like the blend of those guys and the fact that like they're changing it up every single time. But also like kind of using some of the same stuff to make the story continue. Because it does also feel like most of the feuds from the Elite are kind of like verbal, like sports entertainment-ish, like lots and lots of promos in a match or two. Whereas this one I feel like is an actual storyline that's playing out like in the ring, which I think is awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I know there's promos and shit as well, but like I feel like the actual story is being told in the ring, which is kind of rare these days.
Exactly. And then the fact that like after the match, since they're down 3-1, they want to overcome that deficit. They basically said next week is going to be no DQ. So if you're going to keep using the hammer, whatever. And if we make it to a 6 and 7, they were going to go false count anywhere or a ladder match, aka the Esca de la Muerte.
Yeah.
Escalera de la Muerte. That's there it is. But it's like the ladder of death or whatever. But we know it's going to go to 7. We know it's going to go to 7. Like, of course it will. And I'm pretty sure the Elite at the end are going to come out on top. But this is going to be if Death Triangle wins, I will pop super hard because it's not what I expect. But I'm pretty sure the Elite will take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I think that they just, I mean, especially considering how the titles were introduced and then obviously the fallout from that, it makes the most sense to do the roundabout thing without like burying Death Triangle, but also getting the titles back.
Yeah, like making them go fucking like 7 matches all the way with somebody injured, like like they had to work for it. It wasn't just handed to them.
Yeah.
And so, but the one thing on the show, the next thing that happened that's noteworthy is probably the highlight of the night, definitely on the show, but just a moment in wrestling, and literally, like, no joke, legit, this wrestler, Action Andretti, who wrestled Chris Jericho, I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
I know he's been on Dark recently, but like I haven't watched Dark on YouTube in like a month, so I mean, when they have random wrestlers pop on that haven't been on there consistently, I don't know who the fuck they are.
Right.
And this was akin to, some people want to say, a 1, 2, 3 Kid moment, but I take it more to like Chris Jericho versus Scott Hall on Nitro, where it was actually like, there was offense in there. 1, 2, 3 Kid got his ass whooped, hit a moonsault, and won the match.
Right.
Which I get what they understand. They just made somebody, but dude, I did not expect this. Nobody, like, the crowd was so fucking hot. This dude came out of nowhere, like, legit was like pulling some sick moves. Chris Jericho, he kicked out of the code breaker immediately, and they went on, had a competitive match, and he fucking beat Chris Jericho clean in the ring. Action Andretti, never heard of him, but I'm a fan after this. And Jericho made a wrestler. Like, it was crazy. The crowd went from chanting "Let's go Jobber" to actually chanting Action Andretti. It was one of those organic moments where, like, you're watching that live and you're like, holy fuck, like, this is real. No, this is happening. This is real.
Yeah.
And I think it was fantastic. One of the best things AEW has done in a while. And apparently Chris Jericho, like, just saw this kid wrestle and was like, yeah, this kid is going to be a star, and I'm going to make him a star.
I love it.
I love the direction. Like, after losing the world title.
Yeah.
Just it's great. Like, it's
great for his character too. It's a win-win for everybody involved, and 100% of the credit should go to Chris Jericho for this, for sure.
Oh yes.
It's like
he put a kid over that he did not have to do that.
Yeah, but it helps his character so much too. Like, because now you're gonna have this doom and gloom, and will he retire, and he's gonna be emo and depressed. Like, I guarantee it's coming.
He'll go on
dropping loss after loss after loss. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to happen.
I thought it was just fantastic. One of the best things that's happened on Dynamite recently, and it got me hyped because, like, I love being genuinely surprised when it comes to pro wrestling, and I was just like, I never once fucking thought Chris Jericho was going to lose.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's the best part about it, is the surprise, the shock and awe, but also the fact that, like, I mean, again, I just saw Twitter clips, but everything I also saw was that Action Andretti, like, worked. Like, he looked like he belonged there. Like, it looked like he worked really well. Like, it wasn't just
he looked fantastic. Everything was very good.
Yeah, it wasn't like Jericho just carried him to a win, and it wasn't like a Mansoor situation. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
it's like this kid can, like, really go, and it just all worked out really well. Like, that's awesome. It's like a fairy tale story. You love to hear it.
Yeah, it was fucking great. And the main event, of course, Ricky Starks versus MJF. We knew what the outcome was going to be, but it was still a really good match. It was solid. Ricky Starks, I hope, maybe goes into some type of story where he just stalks MJF and wants to just take him out because he cheated, low blowed him, which was before the low blow, it was a great back and forth match, but I mean, that kind of works because it basically doesn't bury Ricky Starks, doesn't make him like, he didn't get his ass whooped. He just got low blow by MJF doing his heel shit. And I have a feeling MJF's little run it's not going to be a little run. It's going to be a long run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's a long-term thing for them, for sure. I mean, I think that they finally gave MJF the ball. Like, they're not going to put anybody over that's not, like, mega over, and they don't have a babyface that's on that level right now. I mean,
not at all.
They just don't. I mean, Kenny maybe, but Kenny's wrapped up with something else. This trios thing. He's not going after the title anytime soon. So I mean, if we're talking about MJF this time next year still holding the title, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, me too, 100%.
So, what else do we have on the docket there then?
I mean, right there with the AEW news, that's pretty much the only really thing, but I guess we can kind of lead into this because this is not really the juiciest of the juice. But Sasha Banks. Apparently, rumors are that she is going to be debuting at Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And that she's completely done with WWE and she's moved on, which only means if she's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom, she's going to work for AEW too, right? At some point, it's going to happen.
I don't think she can. I think she can only wrestle in Japan. I don't think she can wrestle in the States.
Up until a certain point?
Until her she's not released from her contract. Like, they're not released. So, like, she's wrestling internationally, and I think that there's some kind of loophole there.
This is what I'm going to say. We're going to watch if you don't watch Wrestle Kingdom or you catch the highlights, if she's there, if she debuts as Sasha Banks, we know she's still going to be with WWE. But if she's under her real name or a new name, it's over.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. But what I'm saying is that, like, the WWE is not going to release her outright, and I think her contract runs until, like, 2027. So it's like she's either just going to wrestle in Japan and do, like, movies and stuff, or – which I think this is all kind of will work, and she's probably going to debut at Wrestle Kingdom as Sasha Banks, and then it's going to be maybe WrestleMania she shows up, like maybe the Women's Rumble, one of those things. But I think you're dead on though. I mean, if she comes out and she's, her real name or whether it's a different ring name or whatever she wants to use, then I think that maybe there's more smoke and fire there. Maybe. I mean, that could, but I still think that, like, legally, even if she's using her real name in Japan, like, when she's in the States, she's going to have to just do acting or just do maybe like MMA or something else. Like, I genuinely don't think that she's out of her contract. And I know she had a long-term contract, like, that she signed one in like 2019 or 2020, and maybe it's 2024 or 2025, but it's like, there's years left. She's not just going to wait it out and then go to AEW. I mean, maybe she will. But to me, it's like, why? I mean, things are better. Like, things are way better. And we know that Triple H loves you, so, you'll get paid. Like, whoa, what's the deal,
Well, that's the thing I guess we can kind of lead into next. What might be the deal? So, as you know, I don't know if you tell me. Yesterday, or the day before, actually, Vince McMahon's new documentary aired on the Vice network. And also the same day, Wall Street Journal released a new article of 2 more sexual assault lawsuits against Vince McMahon. Which one of them is not really new. It's Rita Charlton, who's been accusing him of rape since the 80s or 90s. Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure he did it because he did all these other ones. And then apparently from 2002 or 1, he apparently sexually assaulted a massage therapist at a spa or something, and she's suing. So he's got a few new allegations out, but also what came out in that story is that he is adamant that he wants to return to WWE. He says he was given bad advice by people close to him, and he's still the majority owner of the company, and he wants to come back.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I think it's impossible now, and I feel like if he doesn't make a statement, it's going to tarnish his legacy even more. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm not sure what's going on with Vince as far as his sexual conduct or whatever, and I certainly don't condone any of that. I don't think anybody wants to see him back in WWE either. At the same time, though, can't debate the fact that it is still his company. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is a little crazy to think about. Like, it's just such a weird situation,
Yeah, it's fucking very weird. And just the fact that, everything has been on the up and coming ever since Triple H took over. Ratings are up. More people are watching. Morale is up. And people literally left the company that only came back because they know that Triple H is in charge and not Vince McMahon. I've heard that everybody backstage, everybody is no, we don't want him back. No, fuck that.
Way better. Yeah, it's got to be way better.
The product has gotten significantly better since he's been gone.
Yes, the product has gotten significantly better. I'm sure morale has gotten significantly better. The trajectory of the company, I feel like the public view of the company has gotten better. I can't. like even if I'm Vince, it's like it's been my whole life, right? Like I want to go back, even if I truly believe that I can go back and make it work and it'll all blow over or whatever, right? Like first of all, how do I do that? How do I go in and literally undo everything that's been done for the past couple months? Also, like how do you'd lose everything? It would be like destroying it. Now maybe this is just like a destroy my own creation type thing again. Maybe he just genuinely doesn't want anybody else to have it. But I mean, it's crazy, man. Vince McMahon in 2022. Who would have thought? Did you watch the Vice documentary?
I have not yet because I don't have Vice anymore on cable, so I'm waiting to for it to go on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I talked to my boss at work about it. He's a big wrestling fan, and he was talking about how they pretty much cover like every little scandal he's ever been a part of, including like Benoit, steroid trial, like
Snuka.
Literally every little thing.
Yeah.
And he said that I haven't watched it myself, but he said from what he saw, he's like Cornette and Jim Ross are like heavy in the show, like just talking about Vince. And he said he thinks that Cornette doesn't like Vince.
Oh yeah, I mean, duh. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's obvious.
And there's only one person that he probably hates more than anybody, and that's Kevin Dunn.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, the guy that WWE had lined up to be Kevin Dunn's replacement, their top producers, just got hired by AEW.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's massive.
Yeah, like, people are saying, like, a lot of people, like, within, like, the industry are saying, like, this is probably one of the biggest signings AEW has ever got from somebody that came from WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally going to replace Kevin Dunn.
Yeah, I mean, production value is the biggest thing that I think WWE has over AEW. So if they can get on that production level on a quicker, then maybe they will have more of a competitive stance. I still think it's, an ant versus a man. Like, I mean, it's a very small. I mean, I know, like, as wrestling fans, it's like, oh, it's clear number one, clear number two. But I really don't feel like it's like, when you go outside and it's a full moon, you look up at it and you're like, man, that moon's big. Like, I can see it. It's right there. But then you realize it's like forever away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like AEW is the moon. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
yes, they are.
We've already established this. AEW is HBO and WWE's Disney. It's never going to be on the same level, but it's still a nice, profitable, competitive alternative,
Yes, that's true. And I'm actually glad you put it that way, because I did notice another headline that Ring of Honor is going to do their weekly television show on the Ring of Honor Fight TV or whatever, Fight Club
or Honor Club. It's their
it's
their stream. It's the Ring of Honor streaming service they've had like forever. Like it's their. He just basically it went away whenever the shit happened, and he just brought it back.
Dumb. It's a big L. Like that's so dumb. Dumb.
I don't think it's dumb for now. I think basically what they're going to do is stream it on there until just because they haven't already secured a TV deal. But if they have a type of product to at least display for people to watch and be like, oh, this would be viable on our network. And I'm going to go ahead and guess like 99% sure they're going to film it in Orlando Studios, right?
Yeah.
Right there, where they filmed Dark and TNA and they filmed all that shit. Like it makes sense they'll do it there. But I mean, $9.99. I don't pay for WWE Network anymore. I might as well pay for Honor Club. I can go back and watch all those good Ring of Honor shits that I back in the day that I never really got to watch.
It is not worth it. I mean, it would have been smarter if they would have been like, okay, we're gonna do Honor Club, but we're doing $5.99 or $4.99 or whatever. They're like, okay, makes sense to give you a segue, but like $9.99.
Maybe they'll realize the $9.99 is a little bit too high and switch it up a bit.
Yeah, well, but then you have to see that. Then that devout. It was just I mean, I hated the announcement. I just think that it's a big whiff on something very anticipated. We've all been talking about this Ring of Honor. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? And it like just to be like, oh yeah, it's going back on Honor Club is like it's the biggest fart in church, dude. Like it just doesn't do it. It's bad for the brand. Like honestly, they're better off just running these random shows. Like much better off. Or they should have just done what we said and just converted like Dark Elevation or something like that into Ring of Honor and just kept it.
I still think that's what's happening. Like one of those shows is going to go away.
I mean, that's as it should. But what I'm saying is like, don't put it behind a paywall for Ring of Honor for your weekly television. No, that's silly. because it's not even as good as AEW, and AEW is on regular TV. Why would I pay for your B brand? Why?
I guess for the hardcore fans, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably pay for it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, if you wanted to be on a streaming service, then just offer it to HBO. Offer it to
that's the thing. Apparently, he shopped it around and nobody wanted it. So that's why he was like, "Fuck it, this is our only option now."
Should have kept it on YouTube. Should have kept it on YouTube. I mean, like, how much are you really gonna make off of a $9.99 subscription? Like, you're already spending the money on Elevation or whatever. Keep it on YouTube. You're going to get more eyes on it. And then when you sell a pay-per-view, it's going to mean way more. Because less eyes mean less views on the pay-per-view as well. So to me, it's like, it's bad business. This is a bad idea. It's a bad idea. I mean, it might very well work, but this is like literally one of the worst possible ways.
I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm sure there will be plenty of people that will buy it. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be a base at all. I'm just saying that this is like they had a chance to really elevate Ring of Honor, and they literally just put it right back where it was before it ended. And it's like, okay, like you have a chance to bring it back to these glory days. You've had all this awesome AEW television time with it. You got some really solid stars to reboot the brand with. And you shopped it around for a while. You couldn't get a bite. You couldn't get HBO. You couldn't get Discovery Plus or whatever. So you're like, we're just going to go back to their old subscription service plan. But it's just not that plan is what killed them. I mean, not totally, but it's part of it. And it's like, why? Just keep doing the monthly shows, man. Or just literally use your YouTube channel that you've already built up. Like, it seems silly.
People underestimate the power of YouTube.
Yes, totally. Yes, totally. And I'm sure all that shit's monetized. They're making money on those plays. So it's like, it's not like you're losing money. Like, you might make a little less than you would on Honor Club, but way more eyeballs means way more on your pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. But I see where you're coming from, but I honestly see where, like, the hardcore fan, who's already been an Honor Club subscription member forever. And I've always been, like, on the fence of getting Honor Club, but, like, I think I might do it now just because I don't pay for WWE Network. I don't pay for IWTV anymore. So might as well pay for something for wrestling.
There you go. I will not. I pay for Peacock Premium, but I also watch, like, other things on Peacock. So,
well, speaking of paying for things, I'm going to go ahead and get into, like, one of the most juiciest things I guess is on the docket right now.
Let's go.
And after a 451 reign as the NXT Women's Champion, promptly the next day, Mandy Rose was released from her WWE contract because she had her own little, like, OnlyFans type, like, little site, and she was posting some scantily clad photos on there, and, maybe had a little nipple showing, maybe had a little something this and that, but I guess I understand it violated her terms of her contract, but you want to be real. You know why they fired her, right? Because they weren't making money off those photos. That's why they fired her.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Not because it goes against their PG brand or whatever. Like, y'all shut the fuck up. We know y'all have done Playboy. Her whole character since she was on the main roster is like a sexy girl. Like, she had an affair with the Usos. Like, her whole gimmick was, I'm super sexy. Look at me.
Yeah.
And WWE just got mad that they couldn't monetize off of them sexy photos that she was posting online. And then she was making more money than her current WWE deal off of these photos.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess she was just like, fuck y'all,
Dude, yeah. I mean, there's people that I know that I will not disclose their names, but all they do is take pictures of their feet. And brother, they make $30,000 a month off of just that.
Damn, I got some nice feet. I need to get into that.
Well, get all over.
I need to shave them, but I got some good feet.
Start your OnlyFeeds page. Nah, I think Mandy Rose is gonna be fine, man. I mean, I think that she's had. I mean, again, like she became a better wrestler for sure. But wrestling is a catalyst to her being a celebrity. Like
she's like literally wins like the bodybuilding fitness bikini contest, like literally, like that was her career before she was a wrestler.
Right.
So
right, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I don't think she needs wrestling, and I mean she got she got everything she needed out of it. You know what I mean? She got the name recognition. She's got enough followers on Instagram. She can just do her fans. And honestly, dude, she could just have like that Fansly page where it's just like maybe like a corner of a nip nap, because I guarantee she's not doing fully nudes on there.
No, that was like literally the picture that like that was like leaked online that got her fired. It was literally a nip. Like I've seen China, Sable, Tori Wilson, and way crazier photos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's not like it's not. You're not going to be, you know, like I don't think Mandy Rose is going to start doing porn. Like I'm
like literally, it was like such a mild picture. Like for the Attitude Era, that could have been maybe on TV, maybe. Like, it was. Yeah. Like
with a little cloudy graphic around.
Yeah, like literally, it was not far off from Sable.
Yeah.
Right the fuck up, like not far off.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is also too, like I don't know how much money she was making. Maybe it was a pretty decent amount, and it's like you don't really need her. I mean, I think she peaked in NXT. I don't think there's you're not going to stretch her wrestling ability any further, and also I don't think there's much like risk for I don't see her going to AEW. If
she happens to want to wrestle, she could probably make some good money doing a few spots here or there just because of her name recognition alone.
Yeah, and maybe she'll end up doing like a one night. Like an AEW Open Challenge or something, but I don't see her becoming like a regular over there. I don't see her becoming a regular literally anywhere else. I think it's just like, honestly, this might be a thing where she goes and like is just a quote unquote influencer for like a year and then she's back in WWE or something, you know? Like I don't it's either WWE or she's just going to take pictures of herself and make tons of money doing that. So, I mean,
or she can probably make good money in Japan doing photos and wrestling and everything.
She's not going to do that. I just don't see her. Yeah, working a strong style. Absolutely not. That just doesn't seem.
No. Like I'm saying, just go to Japan. Like do some. I'm saying she can do her little photo stuff and like some light wrestling. You know, one or two shots. Some of those less violent promotions.
Some of those underground Japan women on.
Oh, like wrestling. The ones where they wrestle guys for money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know all about that. I watched this fucking documentary on Netflix about like this bodybuilder couple that they ended up like the lady killed the guy, but that's what she would do, these wrestling videos. Like she would wrestle guys because she was all muscular and some like weird dude shit.
Yeah, weird dude shit. I love it. It's good stuff. I do think that I have like a lot of high hopes for the NXT brand being built back up as well. I know that Sean had been on a media call and had said that like, you know, we want to get like he acknowledged the fact that NXT isn't what it used to be, and that he wants to bring it back to like the glory days of the black and gold, and like
that's why you got to bring a few established indie names.
See, I don't know,
young guys.
That's kind of. I mean, that's what we've all. I've said that several times on the podcast here, but like I do, and I still agree with that. I still think you're right about that as well. But I also think that like. He made a very good point when he was like, you know, we know what we have here with our young talent now. Like, it's been a couple of years that we've been doing this, and you know, it's not the same talent pool as it was when it was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins and you know Cesaro and whoever else. So it's like, I think that they're just going to start hiring more young talent, because I really do think a lot of the roster is the problem. I mean, I really genuinely think that like they went cartoony, not only with the vibe, but with the characters, and they went so over the top with their characters that the wrestling started to suffer. And NXT needs to be a wrestling brand. Like that's what
it was known for.
Yeah, that's what it is for WWE. You know, so hopefully they'll get back there soon. Also, with the return of Mr. William Regal. He is headed back to WWE.
To work with his son again, even though he's not going to be an on-screen character, at least until like after halfway through 2023, he's already basically been offered a vice president role.
Yes.
Which I think is great. And hopefully Vince McMahon doesn't come back and ruin everything.
Yeah, no, he won't.
I'm really hoping
too is that like as an owner, like, so he's been removed as chairman of the board. So literally the entire board would have to vote for him to come back and take over. And that's just not going to happen. He can own 100% of the company, and he removed himself, and it would be up to whoever, you know, replaced him to put him back in power. And that's just never going to happen, I don't think.
Send him off to a retirement home.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of there.
Get his old ass out of here. We're tired of that shit. Triple H has been on the up and come up. We don't want to see Vince fuck it up again.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of old guys coming back, the guy over your shoulder over there, there's lots of rumors about old Stone Cold coming back.
Yes, if you follow Stone Cold on social media like I do, he's working out hard and posting his training videos, and no matter if he's out on a hunting trip in his RV or out at home, he's working out, he's training.
Yeah.
And I would love to see another Stone Cold match. Of course. Like, why not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he more than proved that he can still go. I know Mick Foley said that he really doesn't want to see him wrestle again just because the Kevin Owens match was so good and he was so surprised by how good it was but he also said that's like a blessing and a curse because it's like now people are going to expect that or more. And
who would he face though? Who would he face?
Right. I mean, John Cena.
But I've heard John Cena might face Austin Theory.
Yeah, I mean, that would be good. I think Austin Theory versus Cena would be great.
What about this? It's never happened before. It was going to happen, but never happened. But what about Stone Cold and Brock Lesnar?
Zero desire to see that. Zero desire.
Even if Stone Cold got all the offense?
Yeah, zero desire to see it. I think that, and we all know how I feel about CM Punk, but I would be more interested in CM Punk in Austin than I would be in Austin and Lesnar. I just don't have any.
I don't think legally that could happen just because of contract shit.
Definitely not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen.
Okay, I know they keep promoting your boy, The Rock, for face Roman Reigns. What if we got a Rock and Stone Cold?
Like
a Rock and Stone Cold 4.
I think it might actually be like Rock, Austin, and Zayn against the Bloodline. See what I'm saying?
Rock and Austin tagging?
Yes.
That would be fucking... That'd
be dope. It'd be dope.
We never seen them tag, and everybody, they love both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be great.
That'd be great. There's so many possibilities, but Stone Cold at WrestleMania, give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, I like the idea that Cena's coming back. Apparently, like, he's coming back in like a couple weeks, and he's going to be back.
Well, all I've heard is do not miss SmackDown this Friday. That's all I've been hearing. Don't miss it this Friday. It's supposed to be something's happened. Somebody's coming back. Okay.
Well, cool. I mean, hopefully it is Cena, and because I mean, the rumor is at least the headlines that I've seen is like not only is he coming back, but it's not going to be like the past 2 or 3 times where it's like he came back and wrestled a match like and was on TV for a week. Like, he's going to come back and be John Cena on TV for a few months. Like, he'll probably be gone after Mania, but like, well, Mania's in like what, February? So that's like almost 3 months, 2.5 months.
Ooh, yeah. I just thought about this. Somebody who's been out for a bit who should be returning. No,
Mania's in March. Mania's in March. Yeah.
What if we got Stone Cold versus Edge?
That'd be good.
Because both, I mean, Edge is going to be returning soon.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. Dude, how about this? I know it hasn't started. I mean, it doesn't make sense right now because I haven't done anything, but he has no real feud. What if we got Stone Cold versus AJ Styles?
Oh, that'd be sick.
That would.
I mean, yeah, that'd be sick. And you could build a story there really quickly. Really quickly.
And you could use the OC to get it like involved, and you could make a fucking dude. That'd be a
Stone easily Cold. Turn him heel. Easily turn that whole the OC heel real quick, and then Boston beats him up, and then they're baby faces again the next Monday. It's like it's totally fine. Like,
dude,
give us the match. That match would be
so
great.
Good because you could just do. There's so much you could do with that, and think about that. They faced The Undertaker and Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's fucking legacy right there, dude.
It would be good shit to see for sure. I'm super excited about it, man. I think WrestleMania this season is going to be awesome. Again, too, but now it's like, okay, I think that literally everything hinges on The Rock, right? Like, I think that everything, as far as plans for WrestleMania, I think that everything hinges on whether or not The Rock can come or not.
Exactly. I will say this. If you heard that, Black Adam didn't do so good and they're kind of rebooting the whole DCEU with James Gunn, they announced it today how Henry Cavill's not going to be Superman anymore. So maybe he's took The Rock out of his plans and maybe that opens him up to actually do something.
Yeah, I mean, Black Adam was an okay movie, but there's just so many superhero movies that it just wasn't as good as a lot of them.
I mean, it came out the same weekend as fucking Black Panther 2. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, that was a big mistake for sure.
That was a bad move.
Yeah, that was a big mistake for sure. I mean, it was already on like, Amazon or something like that, like 2 weeks after it came out. And I was like, oh,
like literally when I went to go see Black Panther 2, is Jesse just popping in here out of nowhere?
Is he popping in? Are you hopping on?
I had the sleepies.
Oh, it's all good. Jesse's here, guys. Jesse's here.
Well, we're damn near on the tail end, but yeah, Black Panther 2, the same weekend as Black Adam. That was a bad idea because I literally went to go see it, and there were people in line like it was sold out, and they're like, my kids want to see a superhero movie. Like, oh, we have Black Adam. They're like, okay, I guess so.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
That's rough, dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that, to me, again, if The Rock comes in and he can do a program, then it makes sense to me. But if it's just going to be a one-off, Roman Reigns doesn't seem to be the right person. Like, it's weird because it's like the only person that makes logical sense for The Rock to compete against would be Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah,
but
of course.
I don't know if he has the schedule, like the time in his schedule to really dedicate, because I really feel like you need at least from Rumble to Mania. And that's a lot of time for a guy that's as famous as The Rock. Like, that's just so much time. And like,
maybe you could do something similar to, Twice in a Lifetime, where he did that one little run. Champ appeared, occasionally, but, maybe you could do something similar to that, but maybe a few extra matches, a few extra appearances.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and then also too, like we just said, like with the Stone Cold thing, like maybe it's Rock and Stone Cold, and we end up getting Cody and Roman at Mania.
Dude, but Cody and Stone Cold.
Oh no, they can't do babyface. Can't do babyface at Mania.
Stone Cold Rollins.
Oh God, I'm in 1,000%.
Yeah, that would be. Rollins can sell that neck like he always does after a stunner, because he loves selling that neck.
Yeah, he's good at it too.
I'm still rolling.
That's his
dude.
Yeah,
that's his classic sell.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. It's good shit. Yeah, I mean, there have been rumors that The Rock is going to be at Rumble, though. I mean, I've seen those headlines everywhere.
I heard he might win Rumble. I've even heard that.
God, could you imagine? Like, Vince is gone. Triple H comes back. It's the first show of 2023. Triple H is in charge. Royal Rumble. Number 30, it's The Rock. It's like number 17 is Cena. Number, 28 is Austin. Number 30 is how crazy would that be? You know what I mean? Like, and then you all just use the Rumble to make them go off into their own little directions,
Hey,
God,
Rumble's always good for that. The Rumble, even though you get the winner, you always get a little mini feud started in the Rumble. Like, oh, he eliminated me.
Yeah. That to me is the tale of like good booking in a Royal Rumble too,
For sure. All right, Jesse, what do you think about The Rock coming back since you popped on in here?
Oh, I think now that Black Adam's going to lose a whole bunch of money, and he went and put out a whole bunch of fake facts that he probably will come back now. At first, I thought that it was far-fetched, but now I think, he probably will come back. I don't know if it'll be Mania. I don't know what it'll be. Here's how I see it going down, to be honest. I think they're going to put Roman as the first person to ever main event 2 nights of Mania.
Oh. So you think he's got 2 matches?
I do.
Oh, so like Universal title one night, WWE next night?
That's right.
Do you think he pulls the reverse Chris Jericho and loses both titles both night, or in each night, or retains one, loses the other, or do you think he retains both?
I kind of think that if it's Roman and Rock, I don't think they do it for a title. Like,
yeah,
if they do, it's fucking stupid.
Well, I think they will, but Rock will lose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they need to have a title on the line, because at that point in time, everybody knows The Rock's not going to win because he's not going to stick around.
Unless they pull a Chris Jericho on Dynamite, like we talked about earlier, and just fucking swerve the fuck out of all of us.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they really could do that, because especially now that WrestleMania is like a 5-day event, they could easily talk Rock into just dropping it the next night on Raw. And how crazy would that, like, that would do so many numbers too. Like, The Rock is your world champion on WWE Raw for the first time in 20-something years, like.
I feel like if they were going to give
Hogan
that to
come back and
anybody,
beat
that they
him.
would give it to Cena just so he can beat Flair's record.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we just talked on before you got to hop in on it. But, I mean, all the reports are looking like the Cena return that is definitely confirmed is going to be like he'll be there every week for the return, and he should be back soon. Like within the next, might even be this SmackDown all the way through Mania. Like he's committed to doing it.
But you also have to think, too, like even if they give Roman 2 matches, he's not going to do only legacy stuff. Like there's going to be one legacy guy. And there's going to be one, hey, we got to make this guy.
Yeah.
That's going to stay on TV for a long time. So it's probably going to be Cody and, if I have to guess. So it's either Cody and Cena or Cody and The Rock.
I'm going Sami Zayn over Cody, but that's just me.
Man, I hope Sami Zayn and Stone Cold is the plan.
Oh, that's another good one, too. Sami Zayn, Stone Cold.
It's good.
I think that's the fucking match right there, bro. Like,
yeah. That is good. Mean, I like that.
If you're following the Bloodline stuff, depending on how they develop the storyline, Sami Zayn Rock would also not be bad.
No, that'd be great too.
Yeah, it'd be great. But I do really like that idea of like 2 nights, world title on the line both nights. You put, Universal title up for grabs night 1. It's Cody. He won the Rumble and he beats him. The next night it's for the world title against The Rock, and then he beats The Rock. So that way you still get Roman, and Roman can still do the heel brag, like, I'm still the champion, yada, 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 longest whatever, Yeah, it seems built in.
I also think that, like, if you're going to do that, the only other person I could think of that I felt like the company would anoint with, hey, this is going to be the first double headliner, would have been Brock.
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't do that. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, like if they're going to give it to anybody at this point in time, you've already done this monumental championship reign. You've already done this build. Fucking give it to Roman,
Yeah.
Or we're going to get super swerved and surprised, and the next challenger for your Universal Championship at WrestleMania is going to be Double J.
Somehow leaving AEW to come back. But what if Stone Cold somehow won the title?
Come on.
I mean,
if the Rock can win it, Stone Cold can win it just for a day to drop it, like you said, to Cena the next night on Raw.
Yeah. In the immortal words of Bruce Pritchard, nobody'd see it coming.
Nobody would see it coming.
If Stone Cold won the title or The Rock, if either one of those two won the title, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
more than okay with it.
Stone Cold Rollins would be great. The Rock versus Rollins would be great.
Literally any of those.
There's so many good options too, and that's the thing too is that I don't want to I know that Wex said before he's pretty sure that the rumor that he's leaning towards is Theory and Cena, and I don't hate that. I think that that's a good plan. I think that match would be phenomenal, and I think that Theory could get over and still lose. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a classic WWE thing. Super Cena still gets his 5 moves of doom and wins, but if he puts on a banger of a match. At this point, that's what, the diehards care about anyway. It's like, Theory, the sky's the limit for him. I think that especially with having a Cena run would be awesome. But just the idea that we legitimately now have reasons to believe that Cena, Austin, and Rock could potentially all 3 be at Mania. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I will be watching. Just like last year, as soon as I found out Stone Cold was going to possibly be there, I'm like, yeah, of course I'm fucking watching.
Dude, nobody can argue that Mania last year, they pulled it out.
Oh, yeah, they did.
It was absolutely great. And
night 1 was the best.
Well, yes, but they've been historically kind of doing that. And it's funny now because now that all the hullabaloo is kind of, obviously it's not said and done, but, out of the way in a large way for now. They're still going to pull out the big shows. It's weird to see that Raw's getting their lowest viewership in history because they're actually doing decent stuff finally. You know what I mean? But I
think just the sheer fact of the rumors of McMahon maybe coming back, people were like, oh, fuck. I hope he doesn't come back and the WrestleMania goes on the trajectory that we are thinking it's going to go on.
I think Nielsen ratings mean next to nothing at this point. I know that it's just such a parameter that we used for so long in the 90s.
People don't even have television. No one has cable anymore. So
dude.
Don't even fucking watch it.
I'm not into the Nielsen thing. Those are streaming numbers by certain people that report it. And look, they're probably all fucking dirt sheet writers that don't know their asshole from their elbow, to be honest. Like, it's not, like, I'm not going to say that it's true necessarily, but like, I don't know many fans that give two shits about Raw.
No one cares about TV ratings except for fucking dirt sheet guys and random fucking people. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I agree
what
with you
the
though.
rating
Like, I
is.
don't. But also too though, you don't really hear people talk about Monday Night Raw anymore.
Yeah. Do you watch Raw? Do you watch fucking NXT? Like, do you occasionally catch SmackDown on your way out the door? Like,
SmackDown is definitely the main show. No one talks about Raw because no one wants to sit 3 hours of Raw. But people be like, "Oh yeah, you watch SmackDown? Yeah, I call it part of SmackDown." Like, I watch SmackDown more likely than Raw.
1,000%. I am like at this point too. At the end of close to the end of 2022, if I was going to watch one of the three brands, it's going to be SmackDown.
And like I've been hearing, do not miss SmackDown this week. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Cena, but we'll see.
We're going to get the another Bray Wyatt return.
Maybe.
I've heard that possible too. Lots of stuff going on there. Lots of big stuff popping off.
Maybe at all? Like, is he going to touch a ring with his body?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard may happen.
Is Wyatt gonna? Where does Wyatt go for Mania?
Ooh, that's a.
I gotta say, talk about underwhelming. Like, that return has not. Like the first couple of pops, fantastic.
Yeah.
Past that, we thought it was going to be him and LA Knight at Hell in a Cell. And
it was going to be him and Seth Rollins in another red Hell in a Cell rematch.
Fucking gross, man. Like,
nah, it's not going to be red. Vince McMahon's not there. It's just going to be regular.
It won't be red. It'll just be regular.
It'll be regular, and they're going to try to redeem their old match. That's what's going to happen. Calling it here.
Look, now that they've fucking bridged the gap with fucking New Japan and Stardom and Bushiroad and stuff, it's like, hey, for my money, you put Bray Wyatt in a fucking barbed wire exploding fucking war and romance, whatever, death match. And
I would love that, but they ain't doing it. I'd love it.
Wow, they should. I agree. I totally agree. I think that would be great, especially in
crazy.
Japan.
Wrestle Kingdom this year is literally going to have New Japan, AEW, WWE, Impact, ROH, like literally wrestlers from every fucking brand on this show.
Yeah.
Makes sense, man. I mean,
that's crazy. Yeah. New Japan is playing 3D chess right now. They're going to be making all the fucking money.
It's funny that they're pitching that Carl Anderson's going to make history for defending at Wrestle Kingdom and being the first like WWE contracted performer to be on Wrestle Kingdom during his current WWE contract or whatever. But I don't know if you guys touched on this or not, but rumors running that old Sasha.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already been. Yeah, we covered that heavy.
Yeah,
that was one of our main points there.
I think that's a fucking slam dunk. And apparently her contract's going to dwarf Jericho's, which gives her even more reason to go to AEW. Like, can you imagine the promo battles between her and Chris Jericho about who got more money to go to Japan?
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what we were talking about. Like, if she debuts as Sasha Banks, we know she's still in with the WWE and they got that working relationship. But if she debuts as Mercedes or Mercedes Moné, whatever she's going to go by, then we know the tide is shifted.
Yeah. I mean, either way, really, at this point, all that stuff is still on the table. Yeah. So, it totally makes sense. I don't know what else you guys touched on. Did you guys touch on the Vice Vince doc?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen. Have you seen it? Neither one of us has seen it yet.
Oh my God. It is fucking terrible. Like, so obviously Vince wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours long. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. Like,
I heard it was 3 hours, but 2 is still too much.
Yeah, 2 is too many. I'll tell you that. Basically it's a Dark Side of the Ring clip show, and it's narrated newly by someone that who knows, and the only other footage that's in it, other than clips from old episodes of Dark Side of the Ring, is by like Brian Solomon, this one other fucking idiot, and then Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, and it's all painted like to make Vince look like he's the fucking devil. There's a bunch of inaccurate stuff in it too. And look, I'm not saying that I'm a fan of Vince McMahon's actions as a person or anything, but I would almost think Vince made this to make himself look better because it's so blatantly pointed to make him look bad. Like, it is so bad. And it like one of those weird things, like a bunch of the facts that they say are just the most blatantly inaccurate things. And my fiance pointed out, like, hey, for those of us who don't know anything about wrestling, we're not going to know better.
Yeah.
And she's right. It's so fucking terrible, man. No wonder
I want to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. I was wondering, they plugged Tales from the Territories and Dark Side of the Ring so hard. All these subway posters, everything was everywhere. And there was nothing said about this until it aired. Like, I had to dig up when they rescheduled the air date. And I'm like, if it's factually inaccurate, why air it at all?
Right.
But the reason is it sucks.
Just the actual product itself is just not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'll just read the headlines and not waste 2 hours of my life on that then. But
I'll see what happens. I still might check it out for fun.
Netflix released the footage. We want to see it, bro. I want to see the Netflix style one. I got to see it at some point in my life. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I mean, the more new impending accusations that come in.
And we talked about that earlier too.
Yeah, but they can just change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like, interview more people. It could be a different type documentary than you anticipated in the beginning.
And I'm sure we talked about Mandy Rose already.
Yep, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a gun,
I think we pretty much covered everything we pretty much going on.
How do you feel about Jesse? How do you feel about Ring of Honor being on the Honor Club streaming service?
I think that if anybody didn't learn a real bad lesson from Billy Corgan, that they're daft. And Tony Khan should have learned that lesson a long time ago.
Agreed.
It's absolutely fucking idiotic. If anything, it would have been in his best interest to try and pitch switching Rampage to Ring of Honor.
Yeah. The thing is, I think he tried to shop it around and pitch it around. That's just like his last resort. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah. Guess why? Did you watch the fucking pay-per-view?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I liked it.
Ooh. There's one fantastic match that should have been an AEW highlight match. Which we all know.
Versus FTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of it, come on, man. Like,
was the main event not good? I heard the main event was great.
I thought it was good. I thought it was great.
Oh man, it was one of those situations. Okay, so as much as obviously you guys know Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
and even now, he is taking the brunt and he's wearing the weight in a big way of like being able to be a brand ambassador for that company and all that fun stuff. But like, maybe it's because the Ring of Honor brand is behind it, but seeing him on the main, and obviously in the past, I've agreed, like, hey, you need a name if you're trying to sell this to a distributor. But guess what? Turns out nobody's fucking buying. So didn't matter.
I just hope the best for him.
Yeah.
It's not that it wasn't a good match, but it was fine. It wasn't what anybody hoped for it to be. I mean, Garcia and Yuta was a better match, but nobody cares about those two guys.
I do. I liked it. The crowd seemed into it. So
I'm talking about people that are trying to sell cable television programs too, not us.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be that hardcore fan base that you have to watch it on. Even when it was on TV, it came on Channel 30 at like midnight on Sundays. It's not like they had a good time slot.
That's exactly what the fuck we're going back to. It's like their best case for syndication is going to be like how we had to seek out EC. Like, I'm about to have to fucking mail somebody for a VHS tape.
Yeah,
that's where we're going.
I mean, like what
I'll get the subscription and then I'll dub you some tapes and I'll mail them to everybody. All right,
there you go, dub you some tapes.
Yeah, that's what you do. You got to dub them.
Oh man, yeah. Like I was telling Wex too is like they're gonna use the same studio they've been shooting Dark in. Like, why not just put it on? Like, just replace Dark. Like, you already have the built-in subscribers there. YouTube is monetized. You're gonna make money off of that, but more people are gonna see it. It's gonna help your pay-per-views in the long run.
I mean, I don't get the strategy at all, frankly, and it's funny because with AEW, obviously. I'm sure you guys already covered the hire.
Yeah.
Michael Mansouri.
Of course.
But we saw the reflection of like this Dynamite was his first show. And you could see a difference in the production. You could hear a difference in the production. In my opinion, I thought it was a better show than they've had in a while.
The crowd sounded a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know why?
Because he knows what he's
He was going to replace Kevin Dunn, and I'm glad he didn't because AEW is going to benefit from it.
But you got that sweet sweetener to the crowd. They're piping in audio, bro. Like that, like, which makes sense, to be honest. I can't trash you for doing that.
Why would you not? It's a television show, guys. It's a television show. Like,
I'm not down on anybody for doing that.
No, I know. What I'm saying
I like it. I love it, and I want some more of it. How about that?
Oh, McGraw looking ass over here.
Oh, McGraw.
Speaking of which,
but yeah.
Jeff Jarrett not only appears throughout all of our lives in all these ways, but in the fucking Preds recap video and then also on Dynamite. And if you want to talk about somebody keeping their fucking career alive.
And it's so easy to boo him.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be like, fuck you, Jeff Jarrett. And the whole crowd was like, they were flipping him off, but like kind of laughing at the same time. It's fun to just say, fuck you, Jeff.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about it is he's smart enough still to know that when he goes in with his 50-some-odd-year-old ass to AEW and he's on camera, to work with a team like the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he knows who's over.
And as long as he's not like winning a bunch of world titles like his TNA days, and he's actually putting people over and making us fucking boo him, which he's the best at, and busting people with guitars and saying slap nuts, I'm all for it, baby.
There we go.
Yeah. I am into it.
Talk about did we cover the best of 7 match?
Yes, of course.
Does anybody disagree that this is the best one out of the series so far?
Oh yeah, I've liked that. It was brilliant. Like we talked about, like the selling of the ankle, the hammer, Phoenix kind of going to the dark side a little bit more. It was great. It was fucking great. I hope that Phoenix comes out in the next match fully in like his Phoenix dark attire from Lucha Underground and goes full heel.
I fucking hate the concept of the best of 7. I think it's the dumbest goddamn thing in the world for this type of match. I'm tired of watching 6-man matches. I think they're fucking daft at this point. But that match was done well. It's the only one of their trios matches that I've seen so far in total for the company that was actually done psychologically well.
Yeah, I liked them all, but I understand that had more of a nuanced storytelling thing. But I think that's what they're going to do going forward, and I'm really looking forward to it, like we've already talked about earlier. But yeah, fuck, I think we pretty much covered all the big highlights and headlines for this week's wrestling. I know next week, is the Christmas week, so we're not going to be doing an episode. But the week after that, that is going to be the year-end recap, just best of the year.
The best of the 22s. I'm going to be pretty excited about that, man. I want to it won't necessarily be a list. We will all kind of each just as in to do research for the show, kind of make our own list essentially of our favorite moments. But it's really just be more of a dialogue kind of conversation, a round table, if you will. But yeah, I'm excited about it, man. Next week is going to be for the holidays, for the fams, for the good times, for the letting the spirits roll and the snow just come down and wash over us.
Y'all can be snowing here in Nashville. I'm going to be on a fucking cruise and on a boat in Mexico drinking margaritas.
Margaritas.
That's right, baby.
Is that many?
Margarita?
Like
a Bloody Mary.
What's that?
1 beer. 2 beers.
What?
I need more margaritas.
Margaritas. That's more margaritas, but like, I'm saying that. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm looking forward to the holidays. You boys, you looking forward to just relaxing?
Yeah, man. I mean, I say that, but I have 2 children, so like, there's no relaxing.
Not much relaxing when you got the kiddies.
No, dude. Especially because it is Christmas for us. Like, I had a great childhood growing up. I had a great Christmases, so I got to try to do the same thing for my kids, and it's a lot, but it's gonna be a good time. Yeah, I'm excited. Got a lot of band stuff going on. Really excited about that. And work's picking up, busy. Just it's the most wonderful time of the year, boys.
Yeah, work's been picking up for me too. What about you, Jesse? What's been going on in Wartrace? What you got going on for Xmas?
Dude, it's familydrama.com. To be real.
Trust me, I know about familydrama.com right now, baby.
Yeah.
It ain't mine. It's Elsewise. So we're perusing that whole deal. And outside of that, we just spent a part of the reason I was late. Spent a couple days in the good old hospital over somebody making a slip with a knife while doing the dishes and cutting a thumb open, and badly. and it's been an adventure. And we're in the middle of their mom moving and all kinds of other fun stuff. So we've been not on a regular schedule at all.
Yeah.
So somebody, Captain Me, missed their alarm, and so on and so forth. Christmas looks to be about the same. It's a configuration of just trying to make it through. We went back to Nashville.
Take some advice from my brother and me. Just fucking go out. You and your lady just go out of town on Christmas and just do your own thing and just say fuck it,
bro. I fucking wish. If you know, I won't say anything on the air because of legality, but that's not a scenario that we are currently in. However, we did just make it back to Nashville for a night this weekend, which is fucking great. We got to see somebody's band, Daniel, and
good time.
There's boomerangs coming your way. She's still trying to figure out how to work her thumb.
That's all good.
We got to go to Corn Bar for a celebration of life for a former coworker of mine, all this other stuff. And we got to go to Melrose, see some other old friends of mine. Then, at a hotel, got to stay for a little while, got back to country life for a little bit. We'll be back mid-January. I got another show 17th, which is like a Tuesday. It's just for a buddy of mine, but another excuse to go to Elliston Place before it's all completely and totally torn asunder. So, good stuff.
Exciting times. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can always find the show at KayfabeCom on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at KayfabeComPod on TikTok, Kayfabe Comparisons on YouTube and Facebook. You can always find me, Mr. Knowitall, your boy, Daniel John Schafer, at Daniel Daybreak. Literally anywhere you can put in an @ handle. If you just type in at Daniel Daybreak, I guarantee I'm the only person that pops up. So, go subscribe and download and follow and tell your friends about the show. We're in the home stretch. We're about to be on the road to WrestleMania. For the final finale of the Kayfabe Comparisons podcast. I am super excited about it. We got so many good things coming up. This whole episode was just chock full of news. I'm pumped. Wex, where can people find you?
You can always find your boy Wex Breaking the Lawson at Wex Breaking the Lawson on all of your social medias. But when you get on the Twitter, just do the one that's at Wex Lawson, because the other one locked out of. I was talking shit. Lonnie, Ronnie, Donnie, Johnny, and them, it gets a little wild.
Yeah, little 1 beers. What? 2 beers?
1 beer. 2 beers. 3 beers. What?
Jesse, where can folks find you, man?
Oh, you can find me in Wartrace if you want to. Don't. Fuck you. Who cares?
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this week. You guys have a great Christmas and great holiday season next week, and we will see you right before New Year's to recap 2022. We're out.
Holla, holla, holla.